Hey everyone, and welcome to Series Addict. Today, we're taking a wild ride through the sun-soaked hills of Los Angeles, stepping onto red carpets and diving deep into the bright, and often dark, heart of the Hollywood dream. This is Entourage, a series that doesn't just show us fame and fortune, but reveals what happens when a regular guy from Queens becomes a superstar overnight, and brings his childhood friends along for the ride. But is it really just parties, fast cars, and endless success? Or is there a darker, more complicated reality behind all that glamour? Let's unpack it all. The characters, the behind-the-scenes chaos, the ups and downs of fame, and why Entourage remains a cult classic even today. Buckle up. Entourage premiered on HBO in 2004 and ran for 8 seasons until 2011. Inspired in part by Mark Wahlberg's real-life experiences, the series offers a rare look at Hollywood from the inside, not just through the eyes of a rising star, but also through his loyal circle of friends. At the center of it all is Vincent Chase, a young actor who skyrockets to fame seemingly overnight. But Vince doesn't navigate this insane new world alone. He brings his lifelong friends from Queens, Eric, Turtle, and Johnny Drama Chase. Eric, or E, is Vince's best friend and eventually his manager, constantly trying to balance friendship with business, and often forced to make tough calls that could make or break Vince's career. Drama, Vince's older half-brother, is a struggling actor living perpetually in his younger brother's shadow, always hoping for his own big break. Turtle starts off as the laid-back driver and comic relief, but over time he develops ambitions and steps out of Vince's shadow to chase his own dreams. And then there's Ari Gold, the explosive, foul-mouthed, endlessly quotable super agent played brilliantly by Jeremy Piven. Ari is a force of nature. He screams, schemes, and manipulates, but always with a fiery devotion to his clients, especially Vince. He's chaotic, ruthless, and yet deeply human, often revealing surprising layers behind his aggressive exterior. One of Entourage's biggest strengths is its unfiltered portrayal of Hollywood. This isn't some polished, idealized version of the industry. It's a brutal, chaotic, and sometimes downright absurd place where relationships and PR matter more than talent or hard work. We see studios backstabbing, directors with impossible egos, producers playing mind games, and tabloids ready to destroy reputations overnight. The series also stands out for its countless celebrity cameos. Directors, actors, musicians, all playing themselves. It blurs the line between fiction and reality, making you feel like you're getting a front-row seat to the real Hollywood circus, all while remaining a scripted dramedy. What really sets Entourage apart is its character development. Vince rides the roller coaster of stardom, from the heights of blockbuster hits to the depths of public scandals and career-threatening flops. Through it all, he tries to stay true to himself, though fame constantly tests his loyalty and identity. Eric faces his own evolution, learning how to assert himself in a world full of sharks, stepping out of Vince's shadow to become a legitimate manager and businessman in his own right. Drama is both tragic and hilarious. The older brother living on past glories and fragile ego, desperate for validation yet often sabotaging himself. His struggle for recognition is both painful and deeply relatable. Turtle transforms from the lazy joke character into someone who starts his own business ventures and takes charge of his life, showing that even in Vince's universe, you can grow beyond being just the friend. Ari Gold, however, is perhaps the show's most fascinating figure. His furious temper and relentless ambition make him seem monstrous at first glance, but his loyalty to Vince and the glimpses into his family life reveal a complex, layered character. Ari's journey, balancing the demands of Hollywood with his collapsing marriage and personal struggles, is one of the series' most compelling arcs. Entourage masterfully balances laugh-out-loud comedy with raw, sometimes heartbreaking drama. One moment, you're laughing at Turtle's antics or Ari's savage one-liners, and the next, you're watching relationships implode, careers collapse, or dreams vanish. This ability to pivot between tones keeps the show fresh and deeply engaging. The show was both celebrated and criticized. Critics accused it of sexism and superficiality, arguing it glamorized toxic aspects of fame. But many fans and even some critics argue that this was the point. Entourage never tried to moralize. It simply held up a mirror to Hollywood, Messy, excessive, and often ridiculous. Its legacy lives on today. The memes, the quotes, the 2015 feature film, and the generation that grew up thinking that making it big looked exactly like Vince's life. In the end, Entourage is about friendship as much as it is about fame, the bonds that hold you together when everything else falls apart. That was Entourage, the dream and the hustle in Hollywood, here on Series Addict. A show that reminds us the glittering surface often hides heartbreak, betrayal, and countless failed dreams. But perhaps in the end, it's about who's standing beside you when the spotlight fades. Who was your favorite character? What did you think of Vince and Ari's dynamic? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this Hollywood deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe to Series Addict, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next big breakdown. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next ride.